We just got a little sneak peek into Rivendell housing coming soon to Lord of the Rings Online. If you're not aware, LOTRO has had player housing for quite a lot of years now, and over the years they have definitely gravitated to doing more premium houses, which is more or less different from the original housing system. So with the original houses in LOTRO, which are still available to get, you would normally just spend like your wallet currency or your in-game money with it that you can earn through like questing or just selling things in the auction hall and all of that, and they're super cheap to get. But if you wanted to go a little bit more extravagant or potentially have more space or even more decoration hooks, typically the premium houses have those sort of options for you. These were kind of developed later on in the game, but they do have a huge advantage in the fact that you get more storage, you get more hooks for your house, so it's just overall a huge win. With a premium house though, you do have to purchase it with mithril or with homesteading coins now, but typically with those, they are like a more premium currency, so you either have to be super duper lucky and hope that you're gonna win some mithril out of a hobbit gift, which is like super rare to none, or you're going to have to use your LOTRO points to get mithril, or even potentially use your own, wallet money, like IRL cash. But players have been so excited for the new Rivendell housing, which unfortunately the LOTRO team kind of leaked on a live stream and mentioned it, and so everyone's been like, what? And so everyone has been asking SSG like, when is it coming? When can we expect it? And this was probably like a year ago now when it got leaked. Like I remember it got leaked like sometime around like Legacy of Morgoth era, I believe. So it's been a while. Like that was last year's expansion and we're about to have this year's expansion. So a lot of people want to know, and we finally got a little sneak peek. And if you're not following Yao, who actually put all of this together, they do have a really nice freaking LOTRO blog. This website shows absolutely everything that you need to know about LOTRO. It has all of like the decorations laid out and the pictures are just so breathtaking. Like this is where you go if you want inspiration on like housing and LOTRO. This is the place that you go. I'm gonna link it down below because it's astronomical. I go there a lot and I just get like so inspired where I'm like, I want to build like a whole house from scratch and it's gonna look so great. And it's pretty informative, but they actually did put together a call with some of the LOTRO developers and discuss what the future of housing could lead up to for LOTRO, just overall, just general questions in a Discord call. And you can actually go and watch that video now. While I'm recording this video though, they took down the live stream while I was watching it, which I was so saddened by because I only got so much details to share, but you can actually watch that down below. I'm gonna link it for you guys if it's up. Hopefully by the time this video goes up. But anyway, as you can see, they did show the housing. They show the images. Let's check it out. I'm too excited. So these screenshots were quoted to be provided by Scenario, who is the senior world designer and more or less developer for creating the landscape around LOTRO. So pretty much for all of the new areas we have, I'm sure Scenario has, made some sort of like approval or decision on stuff and just overall has made it come together at least. So this is what was provided by Scenario. I am going to assume that this is the new Rivendell housing area because we literally haven't seen this. I've never seen this area before in my life in this game. They don't directly quote it, but I'm gonna assume because there's really not much. There's 2 photos. So right away, I was instantly like, what the heck? There's so much blurring going on in the background. I want to know what the heck that is, okay? I think that's a kin house, but I don't think they want to show us the kin house yet. So they didn't like show anything. They didn't like walk around or do anything. We literally just got these 2 pictures and there was a few details that they released about what we can expect from Rivendell, which I will get into in a moment. But just going based off of these screenshots, you can tell that they are going to have some pretty large yards from what I can see anyway. Like there's only 2 houses that are like actually in focus. I'm assuming that this is going to be like more of like a standard house. We already know that these are premium houses of some kind, but I assume that this is going to be like a smaller housing situation, I guess. And I'm going to assume that this is more of like the deluxe kind of housing situation going on. But that is my guess. I'm not too sure. You can analyze this all you want. I just want to make it clear that from what I've seen, looks like we're going to get a lot more yard space, which I'm all for. I'm hoping that's a kinship house in the background, but who knows? And also there's these really cool looking bridges, all right? But I like this and I'm really stoked to see this. And then this was the second screenshot provided, which you can kind of see a little bit more. So I think that this is situated, I don't even know if this is like a different neighborhood entirely, but you could kind of tell a little bit more what you're gonna get. So from here, we're on like the top of some sort of house. I don't know what house it is, but again, you can see how much yard space we're gonna get. Like this is gonna be massive. I would only imagine what the interior is like, but I think it definitely kind of looks very similar to the Ered housing for the elf side anyway. It looks almost identical, just like colored differently with like blues and yellows instead of like the reddish kind of vibe. So interesting. It's kind of similar, but I am excited to see like overall how detailed it could be like different in comparison to the Ered housing. But I will also note that you can actually see that there is a little stable. So I'm going to take it that this is some sort of, you know, potential kinship house, a really exclusive like premium house of some kind. I'm not too sure yet, but you can at least like, you know, show off your cosmetics and your horses and stuff like that. They'll have those hooks out for you. And then again, I think this is a kinship house. Like, I don't know what is going to be on top of a hill like that. Oh my God, like this looks so pretty. And it's pretty similar to Rivendell. I mean, you can even see the Misties up here. So it looks so good. I'm so excited, guys. So now I'm just going to go over all the information I was able to acquire about the Rivendell housing and what the devs sort of mentioned throughout the live stream from what I was able to see. One thing I wanted to note was they actually did mention how many houses will be in the neighborhood, and I found this kind of interesting. So apparently they're going to have 2 basic houses, is how they phrased it. I'm assuming like your standard like single housing situations. 4 deluxe houses in one neighborhood and 1 kinship house per neighborhood. So in all honesty, it sounds like we're getting very few houses in each neighborhood. I don't know how many neighborhoods they are going to release. I think they did kind of make a comment about that in the live stream, but I don't think it was anything specific. So 2 like standard houses, 4 deluxe houses, which is good because the deluxe houses do go pretty fast, and then 1 kinship house per neighborhood. So this is going to be pretty like scarce from what they've mentioned so far. Maybe they'll change that number. I don't know. It doesn't sound like it, but I kind of was surprised by that. Like most of the neighborhoods, I would say, have more than that, but I don't know. I do feel like you do get quite a lot of yard space, so maybe it was just like a logistics thing where they just couldn't have like as many houses in, you know, one neighborhood or whatnot. They also stated that there will not be any stately houses, which is another premium type of house that you can get in some select premium housing areas. But there will be no stately houses in Rivendell housing. And they did mention that there's really not going to be any new features within the houses. It's just overall just having a new housing area from what it sounds like. So don't expect to get like any really cool new hooks or anything like that. It sounds like they're just trying to get Rivendell out at this point, and they're just like, yo, we'll give you the housing, but don't expect anything crazy with these new houses. So that could be honestly a good thing, because I know on like Glamdring, for instance, we are pretty booked out on like all of the neighborhoods on Glamdring. It's kind of crazy. Like a lot of the premium houses, the deluxe houses anyway, are getting booked galore on just Glamdring. I couldn't even imagine what it's like on Orcris. So it's kind of good that they're definitely adding in more deluxe houses for Rivendell. But I am curious how many neighborhoods they're gonna put in altogether, because oh boy, this is gonna go quick. And then also what they mentioned, and the last bit of information I received, was that they are not going to release, or it doesn't even sound like they're set on a price yet on how much this is going to cost. From what it sounded like to me is that they do have maybe like a ballpark on what they're doing with the price for these houses, but they were very clear that they're probably not gonna announce it until they're like squared away with the housing and it's about to launch. Which leads me to the last question of when is Rivendell housing coming out? I know, it's a question we all want to know. From what I know and from what I believe I've heard from the live stream, that is, it sounds like Rivendell could be coming out sooner rather than later. And by that, I mean Cross fingers this year. Hi guys, it's Editing Aubrey here. I real quickly actually did go through the live stream and I wanted to mention exactly what the developer said about the release date for Rivendell Housing. So they mentioned that they have high level ideas on the release, which I don't really know what that means, but it depends on wrap up of the development and they have to get it properly tested still. So it sounds like they're pretty much at the end of wrapping it up, but they haven't even started testing it. So my initial thought process was maybe it would be sometime at the end of this year, hopefully, or at least whenever like the new expansion comes out. But from that sounds, it almost sounds like it's probably going to be Q1 of 2026. So we'll see, but that is my own personal opinion on the timeline. From the developers themselves, it sounds like they just need to finish up what they're doing or any ideas that they may have and then just test it out, make sure it works, which I'd hope that they take their time doing because I want it to work well. Anyway, back to the video. But I don't know. That's just my guess anyway. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for Rivendell Housing? If so, leave a comment down below. And of course, big shout out to y'all for putting together this whole Q&A with the developers, because had they not done this, we would not have any of this info. So big shout out to everyone involved who put that together. And also big shout out to the LOTRO team, because I'm excited for Rivendell Housing. I'm super stoked. So nice job, y'all. Thank you. But anyway, I hope you have a great day. And until next time, you better stay weird, you weird weirdos.